Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto, and let's dig into these topics. So we've got the New York Attorney General Letitia James. Wow, I get it. She's doing her job. She went after Coinex a couple of months ago, last month, for operating in New York without being registered. She's doing the same thing to Qcoin, except she went a step too far, alleging that Ethereum is a security. I think she should go back to the drawing board on that one. I do think she has a case against Qcoin. I do think she has a case against Coinex. But saying that something is a security is way out of her bailiwick. So I think she should really take a step back, reel that in a bit, because it sounds like she's trying to be friends with Gary Gensler. And I don't think that's a place you want to be. Stick to the facts, right? Stick to the facts. Ethereum is not a security, okay? Now, what you could have done with it could be deemed a securitized transaction, but Ethereum is not a security, and we all know that. We definitely all know that. Gary Gensler's probably sitting there going, yes, finally somebody comes to my aid. I think it was just a mistake, and I think they're going to have to rethink that. But, I think they do have cases for against Coinex and Qcoin. That means that you're going to actually wind up seeing eventually possibly all the exchanges leave New York. And if they leave New York, I have to tell you, the next bastion or the biggest bastion is actually California. But a lot of companies are just saying, I'm done with the United States. So we should really be thinking about that. And the reason why is because you're talking about a lot of innovation, a lot of money, a lot of jobs that could possibly be leaving the country. And then what? So that's something to think about. Silicon Valley Bank. There are a lot of things that I find wrong with this situation. First, you have, Silvergate Bank and their collapse, but then you have Silicon Valley Bank, and that's not a small operation. That's a huge operation. How the hell did you implode so quickly, and how did the Federal Reserve not see this coming? I'm just saying, there are three governing bodies, the FDIC, Federal Reserve, and the OCC. And the Federal Reserve is the largest of all three that oversee the banking industry. How did you not see this coming? That's an oversight. I think that's a problem. So they're going after everybody else. You're not doing this right, not doing that right. I get it. I totally get it. But this one is huge. And the ramifications from this failure are going to be huge. Everybody's talking about, well, maybe there will be a contagion, possibly. No, there's going to be a freaking contagion. Just look at the long list of companies that they loan money to. Look at the long list of companies that they hold money for. Look at the long list of companies that they just do business with. This is going to be far reaching. So everybody's wondering, why is crypto tanking? This is why it's tanking. You have all of these events coming together, macro events coming together to create the perfect storm. Silvergate. Now you have Signature saying, hey, we'll only do $100,000 transactions and above. Then you have Silicon Valley Bank and everything that's going on there. That's a fiasco. That is a fiasco, and it's going to have long reach. But something else that's looming that we shouldn't lose sight of is Credit Suisse. I reported way back in October. Credit Suisse has problems, and so does Deutsche Bank. So when you look at those situations, you sit there and you kind of go, that's none of that is good. None of it. And it all points to a banking industry that's, to me, frankly, out of control. There are a lot of things that are going wrong, and not enough people being held accountable for what is going wrong. When things go awry, we should be digging deep. This kind of a failure, we should have seen this coming. I just think that we should have seen this coming. Senators Loomis and Gillibrand have a bill coming out that they're going to introduce in April. They've been talking about it for a while, but it's going to come out in April. And this bill is meant to help put clear lines of delineation between the SEC, the CFTC, and the OCC with regard to crypto. Clearly, there are coins and tokens, shit coins, that are securities. In that same breath, clearly, there are coins and tokens that are commodities. Okay? And they should fall under different regulations. And I think that's what they're going to introduce, a more pragmatic approach to what crypto regulation should be. Do I think it's going to be perfect? Heck nah. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but I think it could wind up being a good first step. And that's what we should be paying attention to. And, maybe we should tell Elizabeth Warren to go pay attention to what's going on with the banks instead of hammering on, Jay Powell and what she did the other day. Because I sat there and I listened to it and I was just kind of like, she's asking him a tough question because he's in a lose-lose situation. He can bring the economy down in certain ways and those are the tools that he has. And she's like, well, you're going to have a whole bunch of people going out of work and blah, blah, blah. And he says, yes. And the other choice is even far worse than that. So what is he supposed to do? So all that grandstanding, and she didn't come up with a solution. She just wagged a finger. I actually like her, but I'm getting very tired of politicians wagging fingers but not coming to the table with solutions. An old boss of mine used to tell me all the time, actually I had several bosses of mine used to tell me all the time, come to me with a solution. And one of them used to say, come to me with a solution. It might not be the solution we take, but it tells me that you gave thought to it. That's big. That's one of my best lessons, like ever. Now, jobless claims came in 211. Okay? In January's numbers were 190. The street was expecting 195. 211, hot. Biggest rise in a long time. Continued jobless claims jumped up to 1.72 million. That's 69,000 over what was expected. Again. So I think, when you look at Jay Powell and the rest of the governors, you sit there and you look at that and you kind of go, wow, could they possibly get any more confusing or confused with all of the different numbers coming out? Now we're expecting numbers today, and I don't know if that's going to, it's the employment numbers, and I don't know if they're going to be good, bad, indifferent. It's going to be interesting to see. They should be out probably about 11, probably about 8:30 or something like that. I don't have the time right in front of me. I think it's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Something else that I'm paying attention to, Visa cut a deal with Gate.io, to offer a debit card rather, for crypto. This is on the heels of MasterCard cutting the same kind of deal with Bybit. Now, if you look at the banking situation and you look at what they're doing, they're kind of saying, hey, we're a good option. You can use your crypto wherever we do business. That's actually a big selling point until each one of those businesses starts to realize, oh, I can accept crypto directly. I'm cool with that. I don't necessarily need cash. As more adoption goes on, that's what's going to happen. And they'll start to remove that middleman. Step by step, things change. Step by step, right? But that's a great option compared to the banking industry right now and where that's going and how you have to flip between, fiat and digital currencies, digital assets, so it's kind of a big deal and we should be paying attention. Sidebar, Hedera Hashgraph seems to be under attack. They're supposed to be the next level and they are under attack. I think somebody just wants to prove a point. Anyway, we should probably look at the numbers. Give me a moment. Let's skip on over. And as you can see, I'm starting with the big picture today, and the big picture is red. It's red all over the place. Now, here's my thought. Again, I'm still telling you to pay attention to the number for Ethereum and the number for BTC. Ethereum took a huge pop a while ago, and it's maintained that pop. So even though they're both down, they're not both at the same point they were when they were more closely correlated. That said, I'm thinking, yeah, I could buy BTC, Bitcoin. I could buy Ethereum, be happy. I could buy XRP, which is actually down. I could buy, I'm just not having anything to do with Solana. Straight up. I'm just not. Matic, I could buy. It's under $1. That's a steal. I got to tell you, that to me is a steal. Shiba Inu, they've got a whole bunch of stuff going on with Shibarium. They're taking a hit. I still think it's a steal. Cardano is down. I think that's a steal. They're at a price right now. They could hit the 20s, and that could be, right now it's a steal. I think they're all big time steals. That said, We don't know what we don't know, and I'm expecting more downward motion. So I'm not out here trying to catch a falling dagger. That's just not me. It's just not me. So I'm paying attention to what's going on out there. If you look at everything side by side, you can see how year to date, a lot of these coins have made you money. Well, made me money, made my kids money, but a lot of us, they made money. If you look at year to date, Polygon is still positive 28%, over 28%. Bitcoin is still positive over, Ethereum is still positive over 15%. Bitcoin over almost 19%. So you start to look at these things. It's Cardano, 21%. Let's see who else is up here that's really hot. Solana, even though I'm not a fan anymore, 67%. Shiba Inu, 22% year to date. So from January 1st, you made money. So even as they fall back down to these levels, you still made money. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, yeah, I'm still expecting good news over the summer. I'm still expecting positive moves over the summer. I'm expecting more bad things, which is why I'm saying there are going to be falling daggers, but I'm still expecting more positivity toward the end of the year, or toward summer and then toward the end of the year, because things will wind up falling into a groove. People will make adjustments, and then you'll start to see a rise. That's what I'm thinking. And truthfully, until the halving event, I think that happens next year, I'm all about Bitcoin. I'm all about it. And at this price, I'm all about trying to buy some more. Why? You want to gather up as much Bitcoin as you can, because there's only going to be but so much. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Right? Let's go back over here. Ethereum, again, yesterday was 50,000. Now it's 52,000. Over 52,000 ETH that have been burned. That's going to add to the value of ETH. Just watch. Just watch. Now, when you look at what's coming out today, you have the employment report coming out at 8:30. The U.S. unemployment rate, 8:30. Average hourly wages, 8:30. Average hourly wages year over year, 8:30. And you had, Fed Governor Barr, Michael Barr, speaking yesterday, and he said, well, we're paying attention to the technologies that crypto brings. We still think that banks, even though they're dealing in crypto, we think it's a little dangerous. I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, like seriously, That's really what I'm thinking. Pay attention to the banks. Stop worrying so much about crypto. Create some real legislation. Let's lean on our legislators to create real guardrails, real direction, and that'll be fine. But concentrate on banking, because every time I seem to turn around, something wrong is going on in banking. Fear and Greed Index, I don't know why this page is not working. I just don't know why. I've tried it on several different browsers, but I'm suspecting it's down. Very down. I'm pretty sure we're in fear right now. That would be my guess. Now, if you remember yesterday, we were at like 63, 64. In total value lock, we're down below 60 right now. You put all of these things together, and this is what you come up with. And I'm going to tell you something else when I look at the rest of the numbers. Look at Bitcoin getting hammered. I told you, if we cannot sustain above 23,417 with strength, we're going to fall. And we fell twice, here and we fell here. And I don't think we're done with this negative move, but I also don't think that we're done with positive uplift. Do I think that we'll get down to the 17,449 that we were at before? I don't think so. I really don't. I really, really don't. But I think it's going to be a minute before we pop back up. This is why I'm looking at my dollar cost averaging strategy, making adjustments and saying, you know what? I'm going to add a little bit more to my dry powder, and I'm going to keep DCAing, because these are great levels for what I'm looking for how I'm investing. Do your own research and figure out what your strategy should be. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.